In both Naruto and its sequel Boruto, a central theme emerges. Humans are often used as tools. This idea is explored through countless characters who struggle with their identity, their purpose, and their autonomy in a world where power often dictates worth. One character whose story profoundly embodies this theme is Ao, a shinobi once proud of his strength, but who ultimately becomes a tool in ways that complicate his sense of self. Today, we'll explore how Ao's journey from being a respected shinobi hero to a cyborg for Kara reflects Naruto's deeper exploration of the cost of being used as a tool, a theme first seeded during the Land of Waves arc. The concept of humans being used as tools is established early in Naruto, and it's Land of Waves arc that truly sets the foundation of this theme in depth. Zabuza Momoichi, the once feared rogue ninja, is introduced as someone whose life has been shaped by the brutal expectations of the Hidden Mist village. His backstory shows a man who was once a tool in the hands of the corrupt system of the village's Blood Mist era. Zabuza was a weapon in a cycle of violence, where individual desires were crushed by the need for power. In this arc, Naruto faces the grim reality of how people can become tools for others. Zabuza, although initially seen as a villain, is ultimately revealed to be a tragic figure. A man who was discarded once he was no longer useful. This theme of being treated as a tool resurfaces throughout Naruto, especially as characters like Naruto and Sasuke seek to break free from these cycles. Enter Ao, a high-ranking shinobi from the Hidden Mist village, introduced during the Fourth Great Ninja War in Naruto Shippuden. Ao is a seasoned warrior who once fought in countless battles and earned the respect of his peers. He's not just any shinobi. He's a former member of the prestigious Anbu of the Hidden Mist and has the Byakugan, a rare and powerful ocular technique. Ao is, at least initially, a symbol of autonomy and strength in a world that constantly exploits shinobi. He becomes one of the many small pillars of change during the Fourth Great Ninja War that leads to a world peace, and is viewed as more than just an aid to the Mizukage, rather a wise and old friend. However, his fate takes a tragic turn during the war when he loses his Byakugan, and the majority of the rest of his body. His body, his power, his eye, a symbol of his power and his identity, are replaced by prosthetics provided by a hidden enemy. This marks the beginning of Ao's transformation from a proud warrior to a tool controlled by external forces. This loss is a metaphor for how people, no matter how strong or respected, can become mere instruments of others' wills. At this point during Boruto, Ao's body is no longer fully his own, as his new eye is controlled by Kara, a mysterious organization that will soon define the phase of his next tragic story. Ao's transformation reaches its darkest point in Naruto Next Generations during the Vessel arc. Here, Ao is revealed to have fully embraced a new identity as a cyborg for the organization Kara, an enigmatic group with sinister plans. His once proud body has been augmented with mechanical enhancements, rendering him a literal weapon in the hands of others. The transition from respected warrior to tool is complete. Ao is no longer fighting for his own cause or his village, but instead is a pawn for Kara, carrying out their orders without question. His prosthetic eye, now augmented and controlled by Kara's technology, along with the rest of his body, allows them to monitor him and manipulate his actions, as well as augment them. In essence, Ao has been stripped of his agency. He is no longer the man he once was, but a machine carrying out the will of others. He has become the perfect ninja, the ultimate shinobi, a complete tool. Or so we thought. The cyborg transformation is a symbolic of the dehumanization that Ao undergoes. He's lost his personal freedom, his identity is overshadowed by the technology controlling him, and his past as a proud shinobi is little more than a distant memory. Although, despite all this, despite being turned into a complete tool by Kara, Ao's inner conflict never fully disappears. Deep down, there is still a glimmer of the warrior who once fought for a cause he believed in. Ao's struggles highlight a key element of Naruto's broader themes. Even when people are turned to tools, they never completely lose the will to fight for their freedom and their humanity, for, after all, they are human no matter what. Deep down, as hard as you try to erase that, it is just impossible. And while Ao's transformation into a cyborg for Kara may seem like a total loss of autonomy, it's important to note that Ao's story is not without redemption. Just as Naruto's journey is about breaking free from the cycle of being used and feared as a Jinchuriki, Ao's arc represents the possibility of reclaiming one's humanity, even after the worst of transformations. Ao's ultimate challenge, then, is not just defeating Kara, but rediscovering who he was inside before becoming a weapon to be used. Under Kara's influence, Ao becomes the perfect reflection of their ideology. He discards the shinobi way, embracing a cold pragmatism where people are merely tools to be used and discarded. Actually, paradoxically, that is the ultimate shinobi way. However, that is all predicated on the fact that they are doing so for the greater good. They're doing so for the village. However, when it comes to Kara, he simply becomes a weapon for a nameless and faceless organization. His famous line to Boruto's team captures this transformation perfectly. In my era, we were simply tools. We didn't need a purpose. And surely while that's true in the heat of the moment, to be the best weapon you can, what kind of drove them and motivated them to shed their humanity was the ability to become the best warrior that they can in order to best serve their village. However, this is the key element of being a shinobi that Ao had forgotten. One thing I haven't mentioned up until now is that this transformation was completely consensual by Ao. After the Great War, when he lost everything that made him who he believed that he was, that gave him value, he was depressed and felt useless. And by chance, he was given the opportunity to take this action to shed his humanity and become a cyborg in order to once again feel like he could contribute, feel like he can have power, feel like he can have agency. Yet ironically, he loses all sense of agency, all sense of purpose. This represents the nadir of his character, a man who has lost his soul to technology and forgotten what it means to be human. The turning point comes through his confrontation with Team 7. Boruto's passionate defense of the shinobi way and Mujino's sacrifice create cracks in Ao's mechanized worldview. Through their determination, Ao begins to remember what he once stood for. Ao's redemption culminates in his final moments, when he faced Kashin Kochin's attack. Instead of saving himself, he chooses to protect Boruto, the very embodiment of the new shinobi generation. This sacrifice represents his full circle moment, from treating others and himself as tools to willingly becoming a shield for the future. The man who has finally become a complete weapon and tool reverts back to serving the purpose that the original shinobi way was created for: the future, the community, the whole. And his final words acknowledge this return to the shinobi way. A shinobi endures. I had forgotten that. This statement encapsulates his entire journey, the rediscovery of purpose beyond mere survival, and the serving of the community. Ao's story serves as a powerful lesson for Boruto and his peers about the dangers of losing one's humanity to technological advancement, and the ideology that one has to become the ultimate weapon to be the best shinobi. His redemption reinforces the series' central theme that being a shinobi is not about power or tools, but about protecting what matters and nurturing the will of fire for future generations. In his final moments, Ao becomes more human than he had ever been in his original body. proving that true strength comes not from scientific tools or augments, but from reconnecting with one's human heart and purpose. Ao's arc reminds us that redemption is always possible, even for those who have strayed furthest from their path. In the end, he dies not as Kara's tool, but as a true shinobi, protecting the future and passing on his will to the next generation. Ao's story in Boruto is a powerful reminder and continuation of the themes first explored all the way back in the Land of Waves arc. In both cases, characters are forced to reckon with the reality that they can be reduced to tools, objects that others can use and discard when no longer needed. However, the story of Ao also reflects the idea that it's possible to break free from this cycle. Just as Zabuza and other characters fought to reclaim their humanity, Ao's struggle to break free from Kara's control mirrors this fight against dehumanization. Ao's struggle isn't just a battle against external forces, but a fight against the very system that seeks to control him. In the end, Naruto and Boruto teaches us that no matter how far we fall, we all have the power to rise and redefine who we are. Ao's redemption, however incomplete, is a testament to that very truth. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. This channel will remain a primarily Kurulush Usman and Dirilis Archero analysis and video essay and reaction channel. However, once in a while I'm going to delve into other IPs and just make video essays on topics and subjects that I want to ponder about. Thank you all and have a very nice day. Bye-bye.